We've analyzed the data you retrieved, but most of the data is damaged and useless. The good news is that we can restore the information on your weapon. If you want to know about it, ask our engineer named... yeah, can't pronounce that. I'm sorry that the mission ended poorly, but we hope you will continue to help us. What are you talking about? Mission ended just fine. Well, never mind, maybe it didn't. A giant enemy Mechaniloid is approaching our base. If we don't do something, it will destroy our base in no time. So there is an intermission. After you complete 4 missions, this will happen. Everyone, guard the front of the base at all costs. Zero, go around and attack it from the rear. That should buy us some time. You're our only hope. Well, good luck, Zero. Save data? Absolutely. The giant Mechaniloid must be up ahead of you. Stay sharp, Zero. Alright. So this mission can be a little tricky because we need the enemy to deploy a bunch of little satellite enemies for us to kill in order for us to get our enemy score. Destroying this thing by itself is actually not that difficult. Uh-oh. Oh no, that's very bad. Well, glad I saved. So I accidentally killed the hatch that deploys those little enemies way too soon. I didn't realize only 2 charge attacks would do it. I thought it was tougher than that. That's kind of weird. Let's try that again without accidentally destroying that. That's actually making me wonder about something. I'll check later. I'll check that later, but... So the giant Mechaniloid here, we need to not kill that hatch too soon. We need him, yes, there we go, to deploy these guys so that we can get our enemy score. Patience is very much key in this mission. We actually want him to get a certain distance into the stage. Because there's a cyber elf that we can, well, I would say only get, but it's not entirely true. There's a cyber elf that's much easier to obtain if we let him go a certain ways through an upcoming yellow building. So we actually want him to go a certain distance. Patiently avoiding the mines and getting as many of these guys as possible. There we go, there's our cyber elf. And if we get a couple more of these guys, we should have enough for our enemy requirement as well. There we go. That should be plenty. Okay, so now we can just casually wipe this out. Uh-oh, there we go. Do not get caught by this guy. Oh, crap. Like this. Yeah, this sucks. There we go. That should do just fine. So we want him to drill past this point right here. This hole right here is where we fall down to get a cyber elf. 99. Perfect. Well, 1 point off of perfect, but you get what I'm saying. If you didn't stop the giant Mechaniloid, the Resistance base would have become a sitting duck. Thank you, Zero. With your cooperation, maybe peace will be restored. Anyway, so we want to quickly go back to the ruined lab that we just got out of, because there's one more cyber elf to be had there that I didn't collect before. simply because I wanted to check my score as quickly as I could. So we're gonna go ahead and get that elf. See, area is closed off. We can't go back to the best farming spot in the game. So this is why we do the farming when we do it, and why we do the missions in that specific order. Because if we don't do them in that order, we will be stuck using an inferior farming method for a very long time. A much longer time than a much longer time than 1.5 hours. However, this jump is possible to make, but it's kind of tight. If I can't get it here in a second, I may have to just resort to the other method of getting it. You can see I'm catching the ledge there. This is just a really obnoxiously tight jump. Yeah, barely clipping the edge there. So, you can use the triple rod, which we're about to get in a minute, to get this down. Just poke it through the wall, and it will come down. There we go. Or you could just get good like me and make that little triangle jump there. No, just kidding, guys. I'm not that good. I really am not. If you've watched any speedrun of this game whatsoever, you know I am not that good. Like, all the speedrunners of this game can instantly put any of the gameplay that I've done here to shame really fast. So, yeah. That jump is very tricky, but it can be done. I highly recommend learning how to make it, just because it's very helpful for another extremely tricky and required jump later. But we'll get to that. Anyway, back to the Resistance base, because we can now go and get that other cyber elf that fell, that we had to let the Mechaniloid drill through that building for. So it's this yellow building right here that he was drilling through. And if we just fall on down, hey, look at that. Hold to the right, and Cyber Elf. Now, another thing about coming down here is that we can proceed back through the subway again to get a trans server a little bit further down the road here. Again, I kind of like the idea of this game being a Metroidvania, where all the levels are linked together. It's actually kind of cool. Mega Man doesn't do this very often, and I feel like it's something that could work for Mega Man if only they did it right, which unfortunately I don't think they ever really did, because ZX wasn't that great, and ZXA wasn't entirely a Metroidvania at all. It was a lot of separate areas. So it wasn't really a Metroidvania, but I think it's something that could work for this series if they tried it more and maybe did a better job of it. This game is pretty good, again, except for the padding. Hours and hours of E-Crystal grinding is just not acceptable. But anyway, now that we've gotten to this trans server, we can now fast travel back here at a later point when we need to. And now we can focus on doing some more missions after we quickly confirm that we have all the cyber elves we're supposed to. So we had 27 elves, and we got 3 from the giant Mechaniloid mission and 4 in total, including the ones I just collected, like 4 in total from the retrieve data mission. So we should have 34. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8. And that's 11 right there. So that's 19. 3, that's 22, and then 25, 30, 34. There we go. So we have exactly all the cyber elves we should have. There is one thing I am forgetting about. I need to make sure to get the weapon. Need to get our next weapon here. This is the engineer guy whose name I cannot pronounce. But after you complete retrieve data, you can collect one of your weapons. Zero, you came just in time. Look at this. It's a weapon called the triple rod. You can attack in any of the 8 directions. Requires some technique, but I'm sure you'll be able to handle it. The triple rod is sadly not a terribly useful weapon, although I have seen many a better player than myself use it to great effect. It is a bit clunky and hard to use if you're a new player, though. So, personally, it's not my favorite. Anyway, let's go ahead and save. Now, we can begin missions. So, at this point, it's a little more open as to which one you want to do. I would recommend not doing Find Hidden Base until after you have the Fire Chip, which comes from Occupy Factory, and Rescue Kolbor needs the Ice Chip that you get from this mission. So the next mission is going to be Occupy Factory. Unfortunately, our stock of energy is running out. If we could use the abandoned factory, we could generate the energy, but the boss guarding the factory... The boss guarding the abandoned factory. Is too strong for us to gain control of it. Will you destroy the boss for us? Yes. This mission is a little tricky. For example, it might seem like I'm resetting for nothing, but trust me, I'm not. You'll see in a moment why taking any damage early is kind of not good. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is where most people tell you to like, comment, and subscribe. And while I would appreciate you doing all that, if you enjoyed my content, come check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/TrinfiniteX so you can watch and chat with me while I make these. I'm a family-friendly streamer, so everybody's welcome. Throw me a follow on Twitch and Twitter so you can get notifications when I go live. Links will be down in the description. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to meeting you.